Today we're going to go back to the land of Remnant and see what RWBY does in the current metagame for Weiss Schwarz. We're going to be going over my card choices as well as my rationale behind the deck list. So stay tuned and see you guys soon. So before we continue on with the deck profile, I just want to say make sure you hit the like button and subscribe for more more updates. Make sure you hit the bell too, because this channel is going to be discussing a lot of competitive strategies, competitive deck lists, especially if you are trying to get into the competitive scene for Weiss Schwarz, One Piece, and even Pokemon, because I give the most relevant resource that I can. And it's not only from somebody who's played multiple card games, but just somebody who has that 14 years of experience. So I really encourage you guys to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification button, because we will be discussing various topics that are within the framework of competitive TCGs. So now back to this deck profile. The reason why I chose this this arrangement. So originally I was doing 8 standby. And then I countered the issue of realizing that 8 standby does present very strong boards and very durable boards, but at the drawbacks are that your hand suffers, your hand quality and hand size, and there are moments where you actually just kind of want to sack the character in some board states and just forget, like, just ignore the board advantage in order to, in a sense, be able to cast out your game plan. And when I was looking back from past experience with playing with RWBY, I realized that the Jean level 1 combo is really good at giving yourself resources, because not only do you get to selectively choose which characters get the on reverse search, but the fact is that it also gives that character an additional plus 2k when you swing in, and by doing so, you're able to refill your hand much more effectively compared to just hoping to crack your opponent's board and hoping your opponent doesn't have the power swings to do so. Like, we're right now in a game where most decks can actually crack back. So, like, boards are becoming a lot more unstable, in a sense that you're not going to always land like very heavy boards. So it's better to just go in for hand advantage and maintain stock compression in order to effectively just dole out your end game. And the benefit about playing this lineup from my testing is that depending on your opponent's deck state, you can pivot between which end game you want to do. If you want to do the Pura to decompress and just push for damage, or if your opponent has a very fragile board and they will not survive multiple instances of damage, the RWBY level 3 combo is good. So it gives you more selectivity, and with the Jean one step, you're able to maintain some a healthy hand size in order to maintain good card advantage. So we'll start off with the level 0s. So we're still playing the 4 Ironwood. This is just the best level 0 in the deck. Being able to just draw a card, which is nice, but also being able to top check with Rico and salvage whatever characters you need, depending on the level of the revealed card, is really helpful. So we're playing that as a 4 of. In my current iteration of this list, I am cutting down the Puras to 3, because we're very tight in space, and being able to just get pieces that you need is very important. And so in order to compensate for the fact that we're cutting this down to 3, I decided to up the count of the level 1 Pura in order to make sure that we still have the likelihood of shoving this into memory. Next, I play 3 copies of the Neon Cat. The reason why I'm playing this right now is this, I've noticed in my game, I want to have some way of going second. And what Neon Cat does is that it helps you have an early game response for your opponent when they try to go first. And they play like a plussing, whether it be a runner or something that goes into memory. The Neon Cat just sends it right back to the bottom of the deck. And your opponent has to kind of recommit resources in order to effectively answer your board presence, because you not only get to answer their board, but now you can easily just tri-lane. And it also has the coin flip ability if you at the beginning of your opponent's draw phase, you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a level 1 or higher, it bounces. So I'm playing this because just being able to answer your opponent's board effectively by when they're going first is really helpful, and I needed to slot in some yellow pieces that would help me in the inevitability that my opponent does get to go first. And I think Neon's just a really good going second card because of that. And then next we play 3 copies of the Nora Riki. So we're playing this Riki over the Sun Wukong because in my testing I feel like even though Sun Wukong speeds through your deck really nicely, I feel like it's not necessary because there are some points where going through your deck too much is not productive in the long run, especially when you're trying to get better refreshes. And the Pura does its job of getting key resources, and I just like it for the red. And then for the brainstorm of choice, we're still running the Jean level 3 top 3 searcher, because not only does it give your deck the necessary deck speed to power through, but it's just an overall, it not only helps you search for your characters, but it also helps you search for climaxes, which is important for this deck, because being able to just consistently land the level 1 climax combo at the early game is really helpful in maintaining card advantage. So we're playing this as a 3 of. And then lastly, we play 1 copy of the RWBY climax swapper. We have so many ways to get it back. You can either search it out off of the Riki, search it out with the level 1 Jean. You can bring it back with the Ironwood. So honestly, I feel like 1 is fine. And then onto the level 1s. We're playing 4 copies of the Jean, which is basically the Corone from Hololive. On climax placement, you get to choose, instead of on attack, you get to choose on climax placement, you get to choose one of your other characters, and it gains the ability on reverse search. So you're mostly going to give it to the Puras, the Pura bomb, because it guarantees a reverse at level 1. Unless you're going up against a level 2 character, then you're gonna just move around your board just to strategically make sure that you get the reverse in order to do the search. And also the Pura is, if you control, I think it's 2 or more, 2 or more other remnant characters, is the draw ditch. And then when it's sent to the waiting room, you get to shove the level 0 Pura into memory. So we play 3 just to compensate for the fact that we're only playing 3 of this. And to pair with the Pura really well, we're playing 2 copies of the Adam Taurus, which has the ability to sack a character, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a remnant character, add it to your hand. So you can even, I still like to use the combo where after you bomb with the Pura, you could sack the Pura to +1, and then Pura can shove the level 0 into memory. So you're able to free compress while also replacing the level 0 Pura, the level 1 Pura. So we're playing 2 of the Adam Taurus. And then onto the level 2s, we play 1 copy of the Lyren anti-early play, 1 copy of the Crow free fresh backup, 2 copies of the level 2 Crow. We're just using it just for the inevitability we do trigger a standby, so he's there just for that. We play 1 copy of the Salem Icy Tail or Stock Swap. We play 2 copies of the early play Stock Heal Tyrion. Then we play 2 copies of this Pura. Let me just put it right here. So what she does is, with this climax placed, you can pay 2, restand this character, and your opponent, you get to shuffle X number of cards equal to the number of total remnant characters on board. And so you're able to decompress your opponent's deck, especially if they're in a very good state where they're about to refresh with like X number of climaxes. You can spring this when they're close to refresh, put back 5 bricks, and then just swing in for free clean damage, which is really nice. And it also pairs well with the RWBY finishers. The RWBY finishers, because it gives you some level of modularity in terms of kind of what are you going to prioritize first. If your opponent is in a decompressed state already, or they're about to refresh and you just want to punish it, the pure really helps punish that. And sometimes there'll be some game states where this is enough to close the game. And then continuing on with the RWBY finishers, we play 3 of the premium booster ones and 4 of the original. So if you guys don't remember what it does, so you basically present a board where you're running you're playing 1 on the board and minimum of 1 to 2 of this, and basically minimum of 2, minimum of 1 depending on the board state. And what you do is essentially just clock kick. You get to play over with either ideally you want to play over the other 3/2 RWBY that's in the waiting room, because you want to have 1 on the board and 1 in the waiting room, so that during your attack step you can restand 1. You can either give the RWBY that didn't clock kick +1 soul, and then you get to restand the other one, and you basically get 3 lanes of attack on top of like the clock kick burn 3. And depending on your opponent's board state, again, you might just feel 2 of this, do a clock kick, then play over, restand 1, and then do a burn 1 twice. So it really is board dependent, and that's one thing I like about RWBY is if you know your opponent's board state, the deck just it rewards you for making good decisions, and I like that about RWBY. So I hope you guys like this video. I will be doing another Weiss Schwarz deck profile. I just wanted to showcase to you guys what I've been cooking with the RWBY list, because it is one of my favorite decks. And if I were to go to a regionals or even to the next year's Worlds, I would probably take RWBY with me, because it's just it has such flexibility, and depending on how you pilot and how you put the deck together, it will take you far. And like I said, there are so many considerations that I've been thinking about. Like, for example, I could put in the Sun Wukongs in this list, but I wanted to test out different ways to have this deck be able to go first or second. And that's something you need to consider with Weiss Schwarz, is like, is your deck better going first or better going second? And the thing about RWBY is they have so much resources in terms of like cards to put in, that you can actually tech your deck out to either go first or second. And I wanted this list to reflect that. So it's by no means the perfect list. I'm still kind of tweaking it. I just want to stress that this list is just there to kind of help you guys, especially when you're learning how to play the deck. So I hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. The next video I am going to be doing is this. It's going to be another deck. It's going to be a revisit on my Spy Family deck, but with the Lloyd finisher. I wanted to showcase what I've been cooking with this list. I will be showcasing a Bocchi the Rock list on top of, hopefully I might do a deck tech on Bang Dream, a discussion on how to build that list, because Ave Mujica does give that deck quite a bit of interesting tools to play with. But yeah, that's just about it for me. Hope you guys like this video. I will be posting more videos soon, and so don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, balls crack that like button, and stay on point, guys. Peace out.